Welcome back. In this step, let's get started with what is cloud, why do we need cloud, and what is AWS. Let's get a quick introduction to all of these. Let's go a few years back and see the world before the cloud. Applications have varying load throughout the year. For example, take a online shopping application. The online shopping applications have peak usage during holidays and weekends. They have less load during rest of the time. Consider a startup. It suddenly becomes popular and there is a sudden increase in the load on the applications. The important thing for you to remember is as the load varies, the infrastructure that is needed to support the application also varies. The approach that was taken by enterprises before the cloud was to procure the infrastructure. That is, they bought the infrastructure for the peak load. So if the expected peak load of an application is, let's say, 10,000 users, then the enterprises procured infrastructure to support 10,000 users. Similarly, startups procured infrastructure assuming they would be successful. What is the problem with this approach? Let's consider the different challenges. The number one challenge is low infrastructure utilization. So let's say I'm procuring infrastructure for peak load. What would it be doing when there is less amount of load? It would just be sitting there idle, not used at all. Number two is it needs ahead of time planning. How do I know what is the peak load? Can we really guess the future? Can we really know the peak load? Number three is the high cost of procuring infrastructure. Buying infrastructure is not really cheap. In addition to this, you also need a dedicated infrastructure maintenance team. Think about a startup. Can it really afford an infrastructure maintenance team? And this is the kind of scenario where cloud started really getting popular. With the cloud, we don't really buy resources, we actually rent resources. This is called provisioning. So we provision resources when we want them and release them back to the cloud when we don't really need them. This is called on-demand resource provisioning. You rent resources based on the demand that you have on your applications. And the advantage of this is very, very clear. Lower cost because you are paying per use. You're not having to buy infrastructure, keep it idle. You just rent it, use it when you need it. An important consequence is the fact that you don't really need to do any upfront planning. You just react to the demand which is coming in. The next important advantage of the cloud is that you avoid undifferentiated heavy lifting. In the cloud, there are a lot of managed services. For example, if you want to create a database in the cloud which is highly available and highly durable, all that you need to do is to check a few boxes, create a database, and then you have a highly available and durable database. As an enterprise, you don't really need to focus on setting up a database, making sure that you have a standby setup, making sure that you have processes set up to take backups of it, because those are not the things which differentiate you from your competitor. So you can really focus on things which give you a competitive advantage. So those are the important advantages of going for the cloud. But does cloud come for free? Nope. There are challenges associated with the cloud, right? What are the challenges? The most important challenge is actually to build cloud enabled applications. And that's why you're doing this course, right? So you're trying to learn how to build cloud enabled applications. You're trying to learn how to build applications that make best use of the services which are provided by AWS. Until now, we looked at why we need the cloud. What are the advantages it offers? Now, let's look at AWS. Why AWS? AWS is the leading cloud service provider. The main competitors for AWS are Azure and Google Cloud. Among these, AWS provides the most number of services. There are 200 plus services as of now, and I'm sure by the time you watch this course, there will be a lot more services present there. In the last decade, AWS also proved to be very reliable, very secure, and cost effective. There are a number of large enterprises which run their applications on AWS, like Netflix. We go to the cloud because it's cost effective, you can avoid upfront planning, and you can avoid undifferentiated heavy lifting. We go to AWS because it's the leading cloud service provider providing a huge range of services which are reliable, secure, and cost effective. Now, your objective is actually to learn these services. Is there a best path to learn AWS? Is there a best path to learn all these services that you need to understand to build your applications. Whenever we talk about cloud applications, they make use of multiple AWS services. And we are talking about 40 plus services that you need to learn to clear this certification. The important thing for you to understand is that there is no single path to learn these services independently. So there is no path which says, okay, learn this first, learn this next, and this is after that. All these services are really, really interconnected, making it difficult to create a path to learn all these services independently. However, what we have done is we have really worked out a very, very simple path where we introduce all the important services first and make it really, really easy for you to learn these services one by one. So are you excited to learn all these services and get started with building applications with them? Let's get started right away. In the next step, let's start with setting up our AWS account. We'll create an AWS account and we'll create a secure user to help you to make use of those accounts. I'll see you in the next step.